Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at some of the Bitcoin sector stocks that are currently in play. Okay, first up, you got to take a look at RIOT, R-I-O-T, RIOT blockchain. This stock has been amazing. It's been running super hard. It closed up 42% on Wednesday. It was pushing higher after hours. You can see here it closed at 16. It was hitting 18 in after hours trading. So it looks like there's going to be a gap up open on Friday. Remember, Friday is a half trading day. Notice how RSI is now above 70, and then on previous runs, RIOT has been able to stay above 70 while heading higher. So you just want to see RSI now stay above that 70 level to signal the chart's still strong. You've got Fasto back above 80. There was a bullish crossover here on ADX when plus DI, the green line, crosses the black line, ADX to the upside. That's a signal the bulls are taking over. And now we've got the nice setup with the green line above the black line and the red line. So this is clearly showing the bulls are in control. This is a chart that we keep, that we'd been posting, and we were looking for a specific technical development to signal that RIOT was ready to break out, and that was a close above the closing price on October 23rd. It had formed a tight channel for almost 2 months, and the closing price on the 23rd was the top of the channel, and so we were looking for a close above that level to signal it wanted to break out higher, and that happened on the 20th. So on Monday, there was a close above that level. It also closed above the high here on the 11th of October. And so this was signaling more upside potential, and there was big follow through. Notice also there was giant volume spike behind the move. And so RIOT started this new uptrend when it closed back above the middle Bollinger Band here. It had been working on turning this middle Bollinger Band level into support after pulling below. And so this candle here signaled the start. EMA4, the pink line, has been holding the whole time. So as long as that level keeps holding, that's currently at 1230, the chart is super strong. If you see it close below that level, if the candles work their way back into the bands, that would be your first clue the chart's cooling down, and you could possibly see a drop down to EMA8. The big level to hold is going to be 10. You want to see the share price stay above 10 now. So there's giant volume behind the move. It's pushing super hard. It's on a 6-day run. You can see here you've got a big parabolic spike, a very vertical spike on the MACD line after the bullish crossover. And so when a stock is breaking out, what you need to do is look at a longer time frame. So we're going to take a look at the weekly chart, and you can see here you have Fasto at 98 and RSI all the way up here at 88, and this is a prior level that it has topped out at in the past. So as you can see, it's getting pretty frothy on both indicators. This is where prior peaks have happened, and so what we're going to be doing now is the chart is super strong, and if you are a long-term investor, a long-term trader on this, and you're looking to hold this longer term, as long as support's holding, the signal is to keep riding. Even here where the last couple of red volume bars or red candles formed, the share price still was able to hold that EMA4 zone, and it definitely stayed above EMA8. And so as long as EMA4 support is holding way down here at 1087, the chart's super strong, and the long-term signal is to keep riding. This week's candle closed well above the upper Bollinger Band. It's going to be a big flagpole here. Now, to push higher, it's going to have to break through this 17 resistance zone. That's from back here in 2014. That's the June 2014 resistance zone. If you can get above 17, then you could see it run back up here into the 20s. You've got the high close back here in March of 2014. That's going to be a big resistance level around 23, 22. And then if you get above that, the high up here was all the way up here at 28. So this has been filling the jar. Notice it came all the way down, found support, and now it's working its way back up to these prior resistance levels. We were looking for a break above 14 on Wednesday, and that did happen. You can see this was the big resistance zone. We thought maybe it might top out here, because it also had broken above the blue line, which was the 300-week moving average. So it was a really big move above multiple key resistance levels. levels, and it was yeah, it was just a huge sign of strength that it closed above 14. I thought there was a good chance it might take a little breather there, but it did close above, and then now it's way up here at 18, so you could see a gap on the chart. I don't think there are any unfilled gaps on this weekly chart here, so the odds are if a gap does form, it would likely come down to fill that gap at some point, and so what needs to happen now is above 17. Candles work back into the band. It's got to hold that 11. You can notice here there's a big volume spike this last week. Huge volume behind the move. So yeah, so this has been totally rocking. The 15-minute chart is a good way to try to time when this thing is cooling down. And as you can see here, we've been working on this for a while, posting updates in our chat, as a case study. And we were looking for a close above this closing price in the first candle on the 21st, and so that was the high close resistance level to break. We had posted another chart that showed that there was this ascending triangle pattern had formed, and there was a break below, and so it was breaking down into the close on Tuesday, and so it needed to get back above the middle Bollinger Band to continue the uptrend. The first candle of the day did gap up above that middle Bollinger Band, and it started forming the red candle, and we weren't sure if it was going to break down, but it held. Notice how the dotted purple line, which is the middle Bollinger Band, held on the pullback, and the uptrend continued. It continued riding the EMA 4. Notice how the middle Bollinger Band held on the attempts during midday, and so now what you have is a close well above the upper Bollinger Band. You're going to have a gap up open, and so as long as currently the middle Bollinger Band at 14 is holding, this uptrend's intact. Okay, so if it breaks down, you see a drop below, it could drop down to this 50-simple moving average at 1273. That needs to hold. Back here on the 20th and the 17th, the 50 zone held and it kept going. If it drops below, that's when you could really see it cooling down, and it could drop down to the 100-simple moving average at 11. So keep an eye on the middle Bollinger Band. If it's holding, the signal's to keep riding. You never know how high they're going to push this. So yeah, great move. Congrats, everyone. Let's take a look at BTSC. This is another stock that's been on an incredible move. Closed up another almost 19% on Wednesday, and then you've got the RSI and Fasto both at very frothy levels. So this is a chart that we've been working on, and as you can see here, we were trying to time this double bottom bounce. It came down in September and hit this level, and it looked like it was going to possibly form a double bottom. It bounced, it came back up, but it failed to get above the middle Bollinger Band. That's the dotted purple line, and the downtrend continued. It came down. It looked like possible triple bottom bounce off of this level, but it actually dropped, and it tested the low down here in July. And so this was the target. Once that broke, we were looking for this to be the target zone, and it turned out to be the great entry point. It did get back above the middle Bollinger Band here, and it pulled back, and it formed a double bottom down here off of this key support zone, and then it's taken off, and it's been heading higher ever since. Notice how it got above all the moving averages. Once it cleared this 150 day simple moving averages, it was off to the races. Those were the top moving averages on this chart, and so it's been on this really strong multi-day run. You can see here, it's been up like eight days in a row. We were thinking that it was possibly going to top out here at this 14 level. Notice that back here we're calling it 1420. That was the closing price here on August 14th. It hit that level on Tuesday and pulled back, and thinking possibly that was going to be a top, but it gapped up open and it kept running. I mean, this stock has been super strong, like RIOT. It's just been insanely bullish. So now it's breaking out above the 15.5 level. We were thinking that might be a temporary top. It broke above. If it does pull back, as long as EMA 4 at 13.7 is holding, the signals to keep riding. Notice that the last close below that level was back here, and that's when the EMA 13 was tested. So it's been holding during this entire run. Once it drops and closed below, that's your signal to cooling down. As long as the middle Bollinger Band way down here at 9 cents is holding, this uptrend is intact. So this has filled the jar back to this 14 and 15 level, and it's on this big breakout. So what we need to do is we need to pull the chart out a little bit further to find the next resistance level. And this is another daily chart. And so you can see this was the resistance level we were just talking about. It came up, it filled the chart at that level. And that was also a key level from back here in June. And so that was the high close in June and then the high close in August. And then notice how on Tuesday it hit that level again. So it was forming multiple tops at that level. But the close on Wednesday above that level, that's a bullish change in trend. Notice back here in June, it failed to close above and it pulled back. It failed to close above in August and it pulled back. Well, now that it's closed above, as long as it can stay above 14, that's going to be super bullish, signaling that it wants to head higher. It needs to break above 17. That was the open here back in June. If it can get above 17, then this 21 is the next big target. So above 17 on Friday, and look for 21. As long as this 14 is holding, it's a super strong chart. And so check this out. This is the BTSC monthly chart. So when a stock is breaking out, we'll look at a longer time frame, and a lot of times we'll look at the weekly chart. I wanted to go way back on this to show the last big resistance levels because as you can see here, there wasn't much trading back in 2013 and 2014. There wasn't much going on here, and then it really heated up. Once all the volume started coming in the end of 2016. Notice how it formed a bottom down here. Notice how it was way down here in double zeros. Okay, to start the year, and look where it is now. It's hit 20 cents. I mean, this is a huge, huge winner. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin, but what about Bitcoin services? This has been a much larger percentage gain-wise winner than almost any of those cryptocurrencies. So a lot of people are playing the cryptocurrency game, but there's real money to be made in the Bitcoin and blockchain-related stocks. So if you want to learn more about this, come check us out at our chat because we have a cryptocurrency chat going on. I can get you into the premium service. Send me a private message to Osprey, and I'll get you in there, and you can check out all the good stuff we have going on. Now, if it could break above 20, notice that's this key resistance level here. This could head back up to dollar land. So you have this dollar land from back here in 2006. It's breaking above the 2005 support zone, which many times is resistance. So what you want to see at the end of this month is a close above. So this candle is not going to set until the closing bell. It could form a long upper wick like this candle right here and not close above. So the key is to close above this white candle right here, that closing price. That signals that it's ready to keep pushing higher. Notice that the candles have been riding EMA 4 and 8 support higher this entire time. I mean, as long as they're holding on the monthly chart, the signal is just to keep riding. Sometimes the best thing to do is to not over trade and just stick with the trade. As long as the chart's bullish, it signals the stock is still in play. Stocks do ebb and flow along the way. So this could be headed to dollar land if it could break out above the 20s. Keep an eye on it. And then check out GLNFF. This is another huge winner. This stock is a Canadian company who is it's both in the marijuana sector and in the cryptocurrency sector. So they're firing on all cylinders here. We had nailed the bounce here. It's been in this good uptrend, and when it made this pullback here to 50, so what happened was it came up and it spiked in October. We had people that were trading this into this run, and then we were signaling this was a potential top. It was hitting this dollar land resistance level, and it formed the multiple dojis. So we were looking for a pullback. And then finally, EMA 4 support broke, and the alerts were put out that 50 was the reload zone off the middle Bollinger Band. It held like a charm, bounced right off of it. So congrats to everybody that got that alert. I know some people are still in this play from that level, so way to go. That's the way to stick with the trade. So the key now is as long as that middle Bollinger Band's holding, this uptrend is intact. Notice how it's been holding EMA 4. The only closes below are right here on these two red candles, and it held EMA 13. So currently, it's been on this multi-day run. It's above EMA 4 at 165. If you see a close below that level, it might drop down. It could possibly pull back and test that EMA 13 again. This is on a strong uptrend. I mean, it has what looks like potential climax spike here on Friday with the big spike, and then you've got the little upper wick. So we're going to be looking at signs of it topping out. It hit 227. So that's monster percentage gains. Congrats, everyone. So watch the 15-minute chart for signs that it's cooling down. So check out the weekly chart. And this is why we've been all over the stock. stock, notice that it's just been trading since back here, from February of this year. This is a brand new stock, and then once this candle formed in August, this was a signal that this new uptrend was starting. Notice how it turned the middle Bollinger Band to support, and it's been closing every single week except for this week right here where it closed just below EMA 4 and it got right back above. Every single week's been above EMA 4. If you have a chart like this and every week the close is above the pink line, just keep riding. If you're a longer term swing trader, if you're somebody that's not looking to day trade, if you have a 9 to 5, look how easy this would have been. If for some reason you missed this, you could have got in on this 50 call. This was the pullback. This was the chance to reload. This is what we are looking at on the daily chart, the spike to $1 and then the pullback. So this was the big reload opportunity, and then now it's gone from 50 to 230, monster percentage gains on a stock that a lot of people probably don't even know about. But check out the volume. This is the real deal. There's big volume behind this. There's big money flow because it's a legit company. Okay, so yeah, thanks for checking this out. If you'd like to learn more about stocks and charts, technical analysis, and all that good stuff, cryptocurrencies, and how to trade them, how to trade the publicly traded charts, and also, we are discussing, the cryptocurrencies as well. So as far as trading the currencies, so come and join the discussion. Check us out at mychartcoach.com, and then if you come to the live chat, there's a link there. We'll also post the link to the chat below this video on the YouTube. Okay, thank you.